Hello everyone, Redstone42 here, and welcome back to another Redstone video inside of Minecraft. And last episode, what did we go over? We went over redstone torches, redstone dust, and redstone repeaters, and how you can use them to make a circuit, and how you can use redstone repeaters in their various uses to block or repeat signals. In this episode, we're going to go over how you can put these circuits to good use, and also how you can turn the signals on and off easily without having to keep breaking and replacing torches or redstone blocks. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you today is the redstone lamp. And the redstone lamp is basically like glowstone, which you can turn on and off. Now, you actually craft a redstone lamp by placing 4 redstone in a diamond shape around a block of redstone. A block of glowstone in a crafting table, and you will get a redstone lamp. The difference between a redstone lamp and glowstone is, to some extent, it does actually look nicer than glowstone. I mean, I will probably get a lot of disagreement for this, but to some extent, it does look better than glowstone. If I get some glowstone out here. Some people I know, they don't like the texture of glowstone. They don't really like it. I think it's fine, but redstone lamps are basically glowstone, which you can turn on and off, which is pretty useful for indoor household lights. So, how do you power a redstone lamp? Well, of course, you could just get a torch. You could just provide it with a signal from a torch, or you could use a torch and redstone, or if you wanted to side by side, and this is a feature of the repeater I didn't mention last episode, is that you can only redstone can only go into a repeater from the back end. It can't go in from the back or the front. It can't go in. Well, actually, even from the front, it can't actually power the repeater. It can only power the repeater from the back. If you put it in at the side, at the front, it will not power the repeater. The repeater will power it. But if you place it on either side, it won't actually provide the repeater with any power. So if you want to put two outputs like glowstone lamps, redstone lamps side by side like this, you need to use repeaters so that they actually go into the output. If you don't use repeaters, then what will happen is, like you saw earlier, they will just merge together and they won't actually connect to the outputs, like redstone lamps in this case. But yeah, that is how you can use redstone to power. That's how redstone lamps work. But one thing I know that you may be wondering is, how do I turn inputs on and off? For example, if I was doing a calculator, how do I input the numbers, and in the simple light circuit like this, how do I turn it on and off? Well, there are 2 types of input mechanism in Minecraft Redstone, and the 2 types are levers and buttons. A lever is an input, which if you place, you have to place it directly connecting to a piece of redstone. You could place it, there, or there, or there. And when you place a lever down, it will be in the off state. And what you do to turn it on is just right click on it, and it will flick the lever and turn on the redstone. Again, a lever is the same as a redstone torch. It will only provide enough power for 15 blocks of current, and then you'll have to use a repeater. But this is a good way to turn lights or turn anything on or off. It's simpler than keeping breaking and placing a redstone torch. It's a simple way of turning an input on or off permanently when you want to, and turning it off permanently when you want to. The reason I say the word permanently is because of the next item. Oh, and of course, I forgot to say that if you place a redstone, if you place a lever on the block directly and you flick it, it will power that block. So if you did this, it would work just as well. This works for any block. If I put a redstone block on top of a piece of sandstone, and I put some redstone going off from the block, if I flick this lever, it would actually power the redstone, because the lever is this is one of the things that confuses most people. But all you've got to remember is Minecraft considers this block as something that a lever can power. A lever can power any block that a lever, when it's on, will power every single block it's connected to, apart from above it. So this redstone lever is actually powering this block of sandstone, and because this block of sandstone is powered, it's powering this redstone. And again, you can use this to your advantage. You can do that, or of course, that's not going to work with my thinking. Or you could do you could do this. Really doesn't matter. But this is a really good way of raising your lever up by one and then having it in a different location. And that works as well. But the reason I've been saying that you can use a lever to permanently turn it on or off is because with a button, and you won't be able to place this button on the floor unless you're in 1.8. Because in 1.8 there was an update which allowed buttons to be placed on the floor, but if you're not in 1.8 then you won't be able to place this button on the floor. Basically, what happens when you press a button is it powers the redstone only for a short amount of time. So if I press it, if you right click to press it, as you can see, it only powers the redstone for a short amount of time. And the same goes for a wooden button. There really is no difference between a stone button and a wooden button. Oh, actually there is. I have never actually noticed this myself, but if you notice, ready? 1, 2. The redstone, the wooden button actually powers for longer than the stone button. I never realised that. You know what? I never actually realised that. But hey, what do you know? Learn something new every day, don't you? It's amazing being an ice cream. But if I change the word to clear quickly, then but anyway, it doesn't matter which button you use. Although a wooden button will power the signal for longer, when you press a button, it will only power the circuit for a short amount of time. And again, this works on the block itself. If I put it here, it powers the block itself. Again, same thing as the lever. It will power every block it's connected to apart from above it. If I place a button here and then a block above it, it wouldn't power that block. So if I placed a piece of redstone on top of there, that's not very visible, is it? Maybe place the redstone up there instead. If I do that, see, it doesn't power it. It doesn't power the blocks above it. But it powers the blocks to its side, to all sides and below it. So that is how you can turn inputs on and off in Minecraft. If you want to have something like a light switch, then I recommend you use a lever. But if you want to have something like an iron door, which you press a button to open and then it closes again behind you, I recommend you use a button. And if you're like me and you can't get through your doors in time, I recommend you use a wooden button because it powers for slightly longer. So yeah, that is how buttons and levers work in Minecraft to vary the amount of time it takes to power something. Now, another way you can input signals into your redstone circuits, again I apologise for lag, like I said in my previous episode, my computer is not the best. You can use, you can use pressure plates and tripwire hooks. Now, with tripwire hooks, you do need to use string in between them, and these are particularly useful in dispenser and dropper mechanisms, but I'm not going to go and use those yet because I'm going to go over the dispensers and droppers in a later video. But I'll just use them to power redstone lamps for the time being. And I know that there are these two pressure plates here as well, but I'll go over those later. Now. Pressure plates are rather self-explanatory, so I will go over how tripwire hooks work first. Tripwire hooks basically work in that when you walk over them, they emit a signal for a short amount of time only. They only emit a signal while you're walking on them. So basically what you do with tripwire hooks is you have to place them on the side of blocks. So you place one there, and you place one opposite it, and this can go for up to 40 blocks. Tripwire hooks can go up to 40 blocks aside, and then basically you connect them both with string, and when you connect them both, you'll hear a click sound. You'll hear a click sound when you connect them both. And if you walk over it, you'll hear two clicking sounds, like pressing a button. And that is how long it's powered for. It's only powered for as long as you are standing on it. Powered, unpowered, powered, unpowered, powered, unpowered. See? But yeah, the way this works is this tripwire hook works a little bit differently to the rest of the inputs. It will only power this block and the blocks next to it. So the the tripwire hook, will only power the block it is connected to, and because this block is powered, it will power all the blocks that are adjacent to it, apart from the ones going upwards. The rule of thumb that you need to follow with redstone inputs is that they never power upwards, apart from redstone torches. Redstone torches are the only blocks that are a little bit strange. They power upwards, but they don't power downwards. All the other inputs that you can turn on and off are different. A little bit of trivia there, but there you go. Basically, how this works is, as I'll show you now, when I walk over the tripwire hooks, I get this right to here. Just set up the redstone here. Right. When I walk over these, when I walk in between the tripwire hooks, when I walk over the tripwire hook, the redstone lamps should light up. There you go. As you can see, they lighted up for a very, very short. Again. Sorry for the lag, you didn't really see it that time. Here you are. As you can see, tripwire hooks are the quickest, shortest input. They're the shortest pulse of input you can get in Minecraft. Because they're only powered for as long as you're stepping on it. Which is, if you're walking, is a very short amount of time, and if you're sprinting, is even quicker. But yeah. That's how that's how tripwire hooks work. They power a block. They power the block they are connected to only while you are walking over them. Really? But yeah, that is the only downside to redstone, tripwire hooks, that they are only powered when you walk over them. And of course, you could make a T flip-flop. Again, I'll go over this in a later video to make it last for longer. Oh, I was wondering what that noise was. But if you break a tripwire hook and it is still connected to string, which is still connected to another tripwire hook, it'll make a twang noise like an arrow falling. But yeah, that is how the tripwire hook works. It's not very powerful in the sense that it only lasts as long as you step on it, but again, There are ways to remedy that